Good morning, Bhante.
Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning,
Good
Bhante.
morning, Bhante.
Okay,
Good morning.
there are only very few people, but still we continue our Dhamma talk. Today, I'm going to talk on this topic you can see on the screen, abodes of the noble ones. Noble ones are the enlightened ones. So once when the Buddha was living on one occasion in a Kuru town named Kammasadhamma, this is very famous for learned, wise bhikkhus. Mahasatipatthana Sutta, Mahanidana Sutta, this Sutta, and so forth. Many suttas Buddha delivered in this area called Kuru town. And there Buddha addressed monks. Because there are these 10 abodes of the noble ones in which the noble ones abide in the past, present, or future. All the noble ones, Aryans, enlightened ones, in the past, present, or future, abide by these 10 abodes, 10 factors. What are they? Here, Bhikkhu has abandoned 5 factors, possesses 6 factors, has single God and 4 supports, has dispelled personal truths, totally renounced seeking, purified his intentions, tranquilized body activity, and become well liberated in mind and well liberated by wisdom. Now let us see in detail. This is the summary and prelude, the introduction. This is the Buddha's style. when he delivered a very profound sermon, first he gave outline. This is the outline. Very easy to remember the outline. And then we fill in later on with details. And here are the details. And how has a bhikkhu abandoned 5 factors? These are very famous 5 factors. We call them hindrances. Hindrances. We all know the hindrances. That is essential desire, ill will, dullness and drowsiness or sleepiness and drowsiness, restlessness and remorse or restlessness and worry, and doubt. These are the 5 hindrances. A noble one definitely has abandoned all these 5 hindrances. And then that is the number 1. Number 2, how does a bhikkhu possess 6 factors? That also is very important. Here, having seen form with eye, a bhikkhu is neither joyful nor saddened, but dwells equanimous, mindful and clearly comprehending. That is when we see objects, the noble ones, not an ordinary person. Ordinary person's mind is different, mindset is different. The noble ones develop equanimity through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind. Seeing forms, hearing sounds, smell, tasting and tangible things and mind objects. Having had all these sensual object of our 6 senses, these noble ones neither become joyful nor they become sad. Instead, they all remain equanimous. How? Mindful and clearly comprehending. What is mindful here? He knows all the forms, past, present, future, internal, external, far or near, gross or subtle. They all are impermanent. All are unsatisfactory. All are without self. Seeing this with wisdom, they disenchanted with them and remain equanimous. Here disenchantment means their mind bends towards liberation. The mind, the particular state of mind that is bent and precipitate towards the liberation, that is called equanimous state of mind. That is called disenchanted. And disenchanted then person becomes dispassionate. With the dispassion, the person has equanimous state of mind. He sees object like anybody else. But in that vision, there is no desire, greed, hatred, and so forth. This is a very special state of mind that an enlightened person has. Third is, how does a bhikkhu have a single guard? Here a bhikkhu possesses a mind guarded by mindfulness. Mindfulness, Buddha gave a simile, beautiful simile. That simile is like gatekeeper, very skillful gatekeeper. well-trained gatekeeper, very, what you call, competent gatekeeper. He knows who is to be admitted through the gate, who should be denied admission. Wholesome wholesome persons, good person, honest person, sincere person is not corrupt, he would let in. Others he would reject the entering. That is the gatekeeper's job. So he has this mind like a gatekeeper, and it is his mindfulness is like gatekeeper, and through the eyes he has nose, tongue, body, and mind. He does not let unwholesome things thought to arise. Through the eyes, unwholesome things can arise. Ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, unwholesome thought can arise. When you are mindful, you don't let unwholesome sight, a thought, unwholesome thought arise in your mind through the eyes, ears, and so forth. That is the function of gatekeeper, and mindfulness does. The mindful person is always like that. Keep his mind pure and clean. And then, how does the bhikkhu have four supports? Here, having reflected, bhikkhu uses something, patiently endures something, avoids still other things, and dispels these other things. What does it mean? Let us go into little detail. That is, when he is unmindful again, influxes, asavas, 10 can arise. Now, this bhikkhu who is very, very wise, pure and clean, bhikkhus should be abandoned by endurance. Here, even though he is enlightened, his mind is so pure and clean, bhikkhu reflecting wisely bears cold and heat. Even though he is enlightened, he feels cold and heat, but he endure it, tolerate it. Hunger and thirst and contact with gadflies, mosquitoes, wind, the sun, creeping things like snakes. He endures ill-spoken, unwelcome words and arisen bodily feelings that are painful, racking, sharp, piercing, disagreeable, distressful, menacing to life. While tense, vexation, and fever might arise in one who does not endure such, that's a lay person, not only lay, unenlightened person. But there are no tense, vexation, or fever in one who endures them, since the enlightened person has trained himself to avoid them, or endure them, then there will not be tense in him. In fact, he has no tense at all anyway. What tense should be abandoned by avoiding? Here, a bhikkhu reflecting wisely avoids wild elephants, wild horse, wild bull, wild dog, snakes, stumps, bramble patch, chasms, cliffs, cesspit, sewer. Reflecting wisely, he avoids, because he is so mindful, avoid sitting on unsuitable seats, wandering to unsuitable resort, and associating with bad friends, since if he were to do so, wise companions in the holy life might suspect him of evil conduct. Now, as he is enlightened, nobody knows that he is enlightened. And yet, if he does not avoid these things, other wise people can suspect. While tension, vexation, fever might arise in one who does not avoid these things. Therefore, an ordinary person who is not enlightened will have all these things. There are no tension, vexation, and fever in one who avoids them. Arahant, an enlightened person, don't have them. These are called tension that should be abandoned by avoiding. And what tense bhikkhu should be abandoned by removing. Here a bhikkhu reflecting wisely does not tolerate an arrogant thought of sensual desire. That is kama chanda. It is so he avoids this. So he abandons, and here a bhikkhu reflecting wisely does not tolerate an arrogant thought of sensual desire. He abandons it, removes it, does away with it, and annihilates it. He does not tolerate an arrogant thought, ill will, and so forth. This, of course, noble one doesn't have to do that. But one who is training to be a noble one has to overcome this thought of ill will and so forth, cruelty and so forth. And then, while taints, vexation, and fever might arise in one who does not remove these thoughts, there are no taints, vexation, or fever in one who removes them. Now the noble ones has removed all these taints, therefore there is no, this is the fourth protection or abode. Number 5, and how has a bhikkhu dispelled personal truths? Personal truth, there are 10 wrong views. And what are they? These are very famous 10 wrong views. That is, personal truth may be held by ordinary ascetics and Brahmins. Now, that is, the world is eternal, or the world is not eternal. The world is finite, or the world is infinite. The soul and the body are the same. Soul is one thing, and the body is another. The Tathagata exists after death, or Tathagata does not exist after death. The Tathagata both exist and does not exist after death, or the Tathagata neither exists nor does not exist after death. A bhikkhu has discarded and dispelled them all, given them up, rejected them, let go of them, abandoned them, relinquished them. And this is another step, another protection, God in his domain in noble one's life, in his noble one's mind. In this way, that the bhikkhu has dispelled personal truths. The noble one does not have any of these things in his mind. And how has a bhikkhu totally renounced seeking. Here a bhikkhu has abandoned the search for sensual pleasures. Now, and the essential for existence, and has allayed and searched for spiritual life, abandoned spiritual life. That means he does not search. He does not have to search for spiritual life because he has already completed, perfected, abandoned for sensual pleasures. Of course, as he has fulfilled, completed his practice, he does not have to do any search. It is called pariyasana. And in Mahanidana Sutta, Buddha gave a whole list of things. Pariyasana. Pariyasana, paritya labho. Labham. So when you search, you gain. When you gain, you decide what to keep, what to let go. And then you become dwell in it, stingy, protected, safeguarded. And then you have, because of the safeguard, you have, you have you take clubs, weapons, swords, and so forth to protect yourself, and a lot of guard around it. And none of this you can do, you have to do when you have abandoned search for sensual pleasures. And search for existence, bhavatana, searching, looking for becoming. Bhavesana is Pali called Bhavesana. Esana means searching, looking for rebirth, because there is no possibility for the person to have rebirth again, because he has completely destroyed his desire. When desire is totally abandoned, destroyed, extinguished, terminated, exterminated, then there is no any potential, possibility, seed left for rebirth. And then he doesn't have to start his spiritual life like any other ordinary person, because he has katam karaniya naparang ittattaya usitam brahmacharyam. He says, I have lived the holy life and I have done whatever has to be done. I have done it, and now I am free, totally free from any spiritual search. And then he feels protected. And then number 7, how has the bhikkhu purified his intentions? Here bhikkhu has abandoned sensual intention, intention of ill will, intention of harming others. In Pali it's called kama sankappa, vyapada sankappa, vihingsa sankappa. You know, in Noble Eightfold Path, number 2, samma sankappa, samma ditti, samma sankappa. Sankappa sometimes called vitakka. Now here, the word sankappa is thought or intention. Kama sankappa, sensual intention, intention for sensual pleasures. Intention of ill will, hurting, intention of hurting others. Or hatred, and intention of harming others. Kama sankappa, vihingsa sankappa. Vyapada means thought of ill will. He doesn't have that intention in his mind. Nor does he have any intention of harming others. So this bhikkhu purified his intention. And that is number 7. Number 8, and how has a bhikkhu relinquished bodily activities? Here, with the abandoning of pleasure and pain, This is the attainment to the fourth jhana and gain tranquility. With the abandoning of pleasure and pain and with the previous disappearance of joy and grief, or joy and rejection, a bhikkhu enters and dwells in the fourth jhana, which is neither pain nor painful nor pleasure, which has purification of mindfulness by equanimity. In this way, that bhikkhu has tranquilized the bodily activity. Now, his kaya, the tranquility of body. So his body is, that is, thought activities tranquilized. And how is a bhikkhu dwells liberating in mind? Here, bhikkhu's mind is liberated from lust, hatred, and delusion. Now, when the mind is totally free from lust, hatred, and delusion, he is liberated in mind. Now he just finished liberating his lust, hatred, and delusion. Last on number 10, and now is a bhikkhu well liberated by wisdom. Here bhikkhu understands, I have abandoned lust, cut it off at the root, made it like a palm stump, obliterated it so that it is no more subject to future arising. I have abandoned hatred, abandoned greed, delusion, cut off at the root, made it like a palm stump, obliterated it so that it is no more subject to future arising. It is in this way that the bhikkhu is well liberated by wisdom. Now, the liberated one made his mind like a palm stump cut off at the root. That means greed, hatred, and delusion, all the fetters cut off, destroyed, exterminated. But the body still remains like a palm stump. Suppose you take a very sharp sword and with one blow, very quickly you cut a palm tree, very quickly. And still palm tree remains there. It will not fall because your sword is very sharp. You cut it you made a cross section, cut it, but still remain. Like that, an enlightened person would have removed all residues of possession, all residue of possession. He destroyed and he lives until his bodily vitality, jivita indriya exists as long as his lifespan exists, he remains. When the lifespan is over, like when that palm tree is standing and if wind blows, then it falls. And that palm tree will never ever grow again. Similarly, when this noble one who has destroyed all defilements, all residue of possession, destroyed, he remains like a palm tree, and last blow is his death, real physical death. When that death occurs, he will, that existence comes to a total end, exterminate. And then there is no more rebirth. So he can say, like a palm tree, obliterated is so that it is no more subject to future rising. It is in this way that the bhikkhu is well liberated by wisdom. Now, you liberated by mind means you gain jhanas and abandon all your hindrances, but still you are subject to exist, abandoning by hindrances by attaining jhana doesn't guarantee that you will not be reborn. Now, when you have abandoned lust, hatred and delusion, completely, totally, never to return again, then you are liberated by wisdom. One has to have a tremendous, powerful, deep wisdom to abandon greed, hatred, and delusion. It's not very easy. Not easy, but not impossible. Because whatever noble ones in the past abided in noble abodes, all abided in these same 10 noble abodes. In the past, they have to fulfill all these 10 steps, 10 noble abodes. Whatever noble ones in the future will abide in noble abodes, all will abide in this same 10 noble abodes. Whatever noble ones at present abides in noble abodes, all abide in this same 10 noble abodes. This is called Ariyāvāsa. Vasa means abode, house, place where one lives. Now, this metaphorically it is called abodes, but this is what you call change of mind, altering the mind. Mind becomes so totally pure and clean that's that's environment, mental environment, the psychological environment is called noble abodes. These are 10 abodes of the noble ones in which the noble ones abide in the past, present, and future. Okay, friends, this is the end of today's discussion. You can see this discourse in Anguttara Nikaya 10 section, but certain other things in detail I added from other suttas in order to make it clear. All of them are not in that discourse, but most 99% of them are in that discourse as you see in the screen. Now, friends, I want to end this session and have time for meditation. Okay? Okay. Now let us meditate. Okay? May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will, should anyone wish harm to another, as a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child. Even so, towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. With this, we practice metta, with meditation. By means of these meritorious deeds, may I never join with the foolish. May I join always with the wise until the time I attain Nibbana. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear-struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Friends, this is the end of our today's session. And also I want to make this announcement next week on the 28th and 29th. We have a retreat. I may give Dhamma talk on Anicca, Anatta, 2 talks. Instead of answering questions on Sunday, I'll give the talk at 10 o'clock. Okay? So may all those who are in hospitals, suffering from various diseases, taken care of by doctors, nurses, hospital staffs, may they recover very soon, return to regular life, practice Dhamma, practice meditation, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all the doctors, nurses, hospital staffs also find time to practice Dhamma, meditation, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who have lost their loved ones also find time to practice Dhamma, understand the nature of life, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in trouble spots in various places, war zones, poverty-stricken, discrimination, wherever they are, they too understand the nature of Dhamma, practice meditation, liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in the northern direction, northeastern direction, eastern direction, southeastern direction, southern direction, southwestern direction, western direction, northwestern direction, up and below, all of them in this 10 direction be well, happy, and peaceful. May they all attain Nibbana. That's all we can do today, friends. And tomorrow we have a regular QA at 10 o'clock. You may prepare your questions for tomorrow, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay?
Thank
Thank you.
Sadhu,
Bhante.
sadhu.
Thank you,
Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante
Sadhu,
ji.
sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you for
It was
your
an
kindness
Thank
to
you,
us.
Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante ji.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you.